Oh, hi, everybody. How's it going? Are we all good? Welcome to the table. Um, you'll notice that there is a strange empty space in not only your screens, but in all of our hearts. Taya was unable to join us tonight. They're taking care of themselves. She's taking care of herself. That's the big thing. So we're sending lots of love to our saint, and we miss her terribly. And I will do a subpar job at piloting that beautiful creation that she is playing. So before we get started, you notice there's a lot of stuff happening in for Streaming Rainbow in June. It's like it's a big month for us. I don't know what that talk. I don't know. I don't know what it's about. So tomorrow we're having a great interview. Sarah has interviewed a great game designer with Galactic. She's amazing. It was an amazing interview. I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's so much fun. And then next Friday, we start our Pride streams for the month. Every Friday in the month of June, Streaming Rainbow is going to be raising money for Trans Lifeline. It is obviously a super important charity for myself as well as our team, but also for just the fucking world right now. Trans lives matter and are fine and deserve to be safe. So please support Trans Lifeline and help us support Trans Lifeline. So starting next week, we're going to be having a roundtable conversation with myself, Mags, who you guys will have remembered from Kanto 1, the Saint from Kanto 1, as well as a million other things on our channel. And Sarah, one of our GMs, are going to be having a conversation about identity and how we have been able to explore our identities through the power of gameplay, which is going to be beautiful. And then on the 20th, we're going to have a guest GM, M, who some of you might remember from last year's Pride streams. One of my helping himbos has come back to be a helpful game master, and we'll be running a game of Be Gay, Do Crime. And there might be a familiar face at that game too. I don't know. Somebody on this screen might be showing up for 3 sessions in a row. We love it. We don't know. I don't know. It's a secret. It's the empty space. And it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a ton of fun. But also, here's some great news. Inferno is still going, and it's just gonna get a little gayer, which is always good. So the great thing about about Inferno and Pride is that you guys there's going to be incentives for hell. So if you give to our Tiltify, which we'll be sharing that link next Friday, you guys are going to get some cool stuff. And let me just give a little shout out. Let me just leak. So this is gonna be the first time anyone's heard of it besides my cast here. So for $1, if you donate a single dollar, please follow Blackwell on TikTok to get this joke. You can give one of the cast a gun, a single-use gun. Are they going to roll with disadvantage because they won't have proficiency? Probably. Are they going to give a gun? Is somebody going to give a gun to that cute little Oracle imp baby? That would be great. Please do that. That's what you get for $1. For $5, you get to pick a voice for me to do. Make it awful. I will pretty much do anything. It can be for the guide. It can be for an NPC. It can be for one of the massive demons in hell, because guess what? There's bosses at the end of every Kanto. So you can give a really, really good voice for a really evil person. For $10, you could give Bless or a Bane, literally. So you can give a plus D4 or a minus D4 to the player of your choice. For $15, we will have one of our players roll on a random encounter table. You get to choose if it's a good table or a bad table. So if you're feeling nice, let our people have some fun. And if you're feeling extra nice, really let our players have some fun. If you donate $30, then we will make somebody at our table roll on the Wild Magic table. So something freaky is going to happen. And listen, I'm about to say an insane dollar amount, and you're going to understand why. For $100, I will let the audience gift a single mote of hope to one of the players here. Now, that hope will go away after Kanto 2. I'm so sorry. Listen, are we worried about the serpent? Because every serpent so far has been real cavalier with their hope points? Probably. But good news. Spend them if you got them. So yeah, so we're gonna have some fun incentives for everyone to play with. I'm very excited. So yeah, so that's what's happening for Inferno for Pride Month. Stick around, watch, catch all of our stuff. And also, yeah, this the end of June is going to be the wrapping up of Kanto 2. So stick around for the grand finale of what's going to happen as they enter and leave the first level of hell. And we say goodbye to our wonderful Kanto 2 players. And I'm not going to think about that right now because I am sad about it. So I don't think I missed anything. Taya, we love you. I am sorry for any. I'm sorry. Taya's like, listen, the Saints are just going to be extra quiet today. Other than that, are we ready to enter into Limbo?
Let's get active.
But I feel like you're just gonna go anyway.
As
Yeah,
ready
it's kind
as
of the
we
deal,
can
but-
be.
Amazing. All right, you have stepped off of the ferry, and you find yourselves surrounded by a dense fog. All you can really see are your small band and the light of the dwindling torch of the guide. Lex, I would like for you to roll a wisdom saving throw at disadvantage.
Ah. That's an 8.
Okay. You feel this upswelling of just like it's just everything is freezing in your body. Like the fog is almost filling your lungs and cementing your feet to the ground. It almost feels like you're being pulled into the ground. And you know without a doubt that it's like you're being drawn magnetically to this land. And you know with absolute certainty that this is your destination if things don't work out for the redemption plan.
Have we stepped off the boat?
Yes.
I take a deep breath in an attempt to steady myself. It doesn't quite work. The ground here doesn't feel the way ground should. Even up before when we were in that swamp, in that mire, at least there seemed something real about that environment to some extent, something alive. The ground feels like it's sucking the life out of me from the soles of my feet. With every step, my feet feel like they're slogging more and more. Something that would have made more sense back on the swamp, where where we were literally trudging through this mud and gross stuff. But here on open land, I can't get my feet to move the way I want it to. And I breathe. I pull my white hood up on top of my head in an attempt to kind of block out things behind me. And I search for anything, any sort of grounding thing in this space. Is there any scent in the air, any sound that fills the space?
Roll me a perception check at disadvantage. And if anybody else would like to roll perception or insight, you may do that as well.
That's a perception 15.
Are we also at disadvantage?
No.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay.
17.
Okay. I rolled for the Saint. Taya, good news. I can't roll for shit, so we continue.
17 for insight, I should say.
for insight. Perfect. Pagan, you are trying to get your bearing, and there's no scent, but it's have you ever walked through a dense fog? Like, you can feel the particles of it, but it's heavy and not comforting. It's not like it's soupy almost. And you, now that you're reaching out and grasping for something, you do hear sounds, and it is the sounds of wailing. And unfortunately, you're trying to just like hold on to something real, and suddenly the cries, something pierces through, and it almost sounds like a baby crying. Trigger warning for my friends. This is the only time I will say that. That is something actually written in the source book. We make jokes about pagans and babies being in this level. That is the last time I will joke about that. But just so my players know, that's the shit that's going on right now.
The pagan, hearing that sharp cry, takes an even sharper breath in, and their head snaps up. It hasn't grounded them in any calming sense, but it has reminded them of one aspect of this level. You know, one aspect being the unbaptized. The other aspect being pagans and non-believers, those who may never have been exposed to this kind of religion in the past or were raised differently. The only way out is through, right? The pagan says that kind of to the air, not to anybody in particular.
With a dirty 20 and with a 17, Prophet, you a little quicker on the draw than the serpent for the first time, which the serpent has been remarkably intuitive on this journey so far, but you both feel that hesitation and that's stillness, and you can sense the darkness and the heaviness that is in that.
The only way out is through. I'm also going to take the opportunity to, I would assume the prophet would be towards the back, probably with, or nearest to the saint. They're going to walk up to the pagan from behind them, and may I, as they hover a hand around the center of your spine.
Pagan doesn't respond, but nods silently.
I'm going to cast guidance, because let's get you as much support on a roll as you can get. But on top of that, just mechanically, it's guidance. But flavorically, which is now a word, the prophet places a hand right at the center of your spine, in the middle of your back. And this small red pulse surrounded by this little dark, not quite black, more of deep purple than anything, little haze around it, spirals from the top of their shoulder, down their arm, almost like a little mite, and until it reaches the center of their palm, that stigmata point that Oracle crawled out of, that their sword presses into, as they touch the middle of your back, that pulse. It's not quite comforting, but it is warm. It feels a bit more like warm as in your own blood than warm as in a fire and like a calming fireplace. But it is more of a feeling of steadiness, steadfastness, stability for purpose as the spell reverberates across your body.
Thank you.
I will also remind everyone, as I am piloting the Saint, now that I will say that they have stepped up now. As long as you are all within 30 feet of the Saint's banner, you are all covered by the Bless spell. So you are able to add a d4 to your rolls. The guide holds up a much shorter and almost the flame almost guttering out their torch of divine hope, and says, right, no time to lose. We are heading towards the castle of the noble spirits. Stay with me, stay close, or I cannot guarantee that you will make it out.
You know the way, yes? You have some knowledge or map or way there? Or are we divining via the stars?
I know the way. They make eye contact with the pagan and say, this is also my home.
The pagan has looked at the guide before, but this time really looks at him. And I'm not going to ask to roll for it because I don't want it to feel real. But there is this kind of, with that statement, this feeling of camaraderie, and the pagan smiles a very small little smile at the guide. Good to know that I am truly not the first to have gone through this place.
He actually gives you a wink. And before you all head out, anybody who would like to, I would like for you to roll perception on the guide specifically.
That's a 16 plus 6, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Perception? No, 16 plus 2, so 18.
18?
21.
21?
And just to clarify, are all of my rolls at disadvantage right now?
Unfortunately, yeah. With that wisdom saving throw.
How does
But
bless?
you got blessed. Plus 4, plus a d4.
Oh, so we can just do that consistently or anytime?
As long as until the Saint sullies their banner.
That was a 16 plus 2, 18 plus 3, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Awesome.
With bless and guidance, that gets me up to a 23.
Amazing.
I'm up to a 22.
Beautiful.
21, 22, 23.
As you as they have drawn attention, he has drawn attention to himself and told a truth about himself. You all focus in and notice that I should roll for Taya. Hold on. I just realized this. I gotta roll for Taya. Okay, what are you doing? Come on. What did I say?
Big
Perception?
money, no whammies.
Perception.
16. Where's my D4? Where's a good D4? We're gonna do the sparkly pink one. They got 4. So
30,
they also got a 20, 21, 22, 23.
Wow.
Let's
I
go.
love that. I
That's
love it.
Great.
That
That's great.
Even the saint who has been in a stupor has absolutely looked. They zero in, and you guys notice now in a way that even yourselves aren't currently, that the guide has definition. The guide is definitely a guy. You can see features. You can see almost the shadow of a skin tone. You can almost see the echoes of his humanity. He is not just a semblance like you are. You can see, or you're beginning to see, who this person actually was. And you can kind of get the impression that this place is probably helping with that.
I think I already know the answer to this, but is there any, and I know that we have memory loss about our lives before, but is there any semblance of recognition when I start to see these details?
I would like for you to go ahead and roll me a history.
Can
At this
any of us join in on that?
Anybody who would like to, yes, you can go ahead and roll history. Only the pagan is at disadvantage.
That's a 13. 7 plus 4 plus 2.
Okay.
That's a
17 total.
9. I got a 9. 3
Yeah.
plus 1 plus 2 plus 4.
I love it. I so love it. Pagan, I think you're kind of grasping at straws right now. So you think you're picking out little things, but it's yeah, is that mouth, that smile, the way, like that one mannerism. But you don't have any confidence in if it's real or if you want it to be real. Prophet, you do not recognize this being as somebody that you would have. There's nothing, like, it's not sparking anything from. Not many things have yet, but yeah, this isn't sparking anything like you would know them. You kind of are getting a feeling of, like, I've seen people like this. Like walking through a big city and saying, "Oh, that person's from Germany. I can tell by the way they walk." Like, there's like, you kind of get those vibes of like a melting pot kind of thing. So it's like scratching at the back of your brain of like, I know something and I can't figure it out. I can't grab it, but it's there. You know something. Maybe not personally about this person, but you know a fact from the real world about this being. Serpent. What'd you roll again? Total?
17.
17. So you're kind of getting the same vibe. Again, it's not sparking any personal memories, but like you're like, okay, like this is a human. Like this is like I can't that same like, I might have pickpocketed somebody like this before.
What did the saint roll?
I don't know. Let's roll again. History. Come on, Taya. Nah, they rolled a 5.
Wait, even with the D4?
They rolled a 9 total. So
they're in the same boat as the pagan. Just
they're
like
I got nothing. I got
Yeah.
like I don't think the saint cares. They've got bigger fish to fry right now. Like there
they're
was
still
a level
deeply traumatized, so like that's very
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, they're so going deeper about God, I can't. I look down, and then I see Sarah. Yeah, it's Jeremy Renner, guys. Oh my god. Is that Hawkeye?
Hawkeye, master makeup artist, whole 9 yards.
Beautiful. So, but you do also see that the guide is pretty swiftly walking away into the fog. So, do you guys follow?
The pagan follows with a not quite pep in their step, but you know, they kind of run to catch up, knowing that if they ever had to believe that the guide had some degree of safety in that staff, like if they were able to provide any sort of harbor in the fog, this would be the place to not test it for the pagan.
Absolutely. Anybody else?
The prophet is probably towards the back. I'm assuming with the slightly slower, very traumatized saint. The prophet is like caboosing. The prophet is trying to. When I walk my dogs, my mom and I call it camp counseling, where we just have to like sheepdog our own dogs from right behind them to make sure that we're all within grasp. And so I think the prophet is sheepdogging. I think the prophet is being the camp counselor of just like, we need to go, and trying to stay still within range, but is trying to make sure that they are the last one to be following.
Perfect.
I think that
As
leaves,
yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead, Serpent.
I think that leaves the serpent right next to the pagan. Just, occasionally brushing their hand against theirs just to remind them that they're there.
As you all follow, you can all now hear that awful cacophony as you go deeper into the fog. You can't see anything. It is the densest of fogs, deep, heavy. And again, the only thing is you can see the dimming light of the torch. And you all start to feel pressure as you're being grabbed and almost like somebody's trying to drag you down, but it's not like, you don't get the impression that it's malicious isn't the right word. It's not aggressive, it's desperate. And you can feel the souls of the first circle are reaching out for their first glimpse of hope in who knows how long. and the sounds and the fog and the grabbing is starting to get really distracting, and it's hard to focus. So as you go, we're going to make some survival checks to get to the castle. So we are going to roll. It is going to be either a perception or a survival. It is a group check. It will be, let's see here. Obviously, the pagan is rolling a disadvantage. As a reminder to the audience, the big reason mechanically that the pagan is rolling at disadvantage is because they are in the destination of their soul. This will be true for every character once they reach the place that they're destined to go. It just so happens that the pagan is in the first level. So here we go. So yeah, let's go ahead and roll that. Again, perception or survival.
Can I give the pagan the help action to kind of like negate the disadvantage, or is it
Don't
like
bother? Don't bother. Don't bother.
was
My
gonna
first
say-
roll was a nat 1.
I will only allow it. I'll only allow
It
it
doesn't.
for a single
It's
roll.
not
I
going
won't-
anywhere better.
Yeah.
It's a nat 1. If I'd gotten a nat 20, it would have been like, yes, give me help, so it stays there. But
Yeah.
no.
So we're gonna count that as 2 failures.
Whoa,
'Cause
lovely.
it's nat 1. Let's see what I need to look at. Profit. What'd you get?
I got a nat 20, so I feel like
There
that
we go. That will cancel
balances.
that out.
I'll go. Either way, if we're being specific, it's a raw 25.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I'm not doing this on purpose. Bless. Hold on. The saint rolled a 7. An 8. Okay, they got an 8. We got a nat 20, a nat 1, an 8, and Serpent. How'd you do?
18?
18. Okay.
I forgot about bless, and so I added that on. So if we want to go raw numbers, I got a 29.
Awesome.
So
Okay.
Damn.
I did the math wrong. 17 plus 1, and you said survival or perception.
Survival or perception?
17 plus 1 plus 2 for survival, so that's 20, a dirty 20.
Okay.
really balancing out right here. Really,
Yeah.
multiple
real.
ends of the
Hey.
spectrum.
I think the pagan is literally just looking like you described this fog. If you've ever like stood on the top of cliffs when there's all of this fog rolling in and you just feel claustrophobic, you're looking out and you're like, I swear there's something out there, but it's this dense cloud that you're standing in and you just feel like there's nothing, yet it's right in your face. You know, you can't see far, you have no depth perception. I feel like the pagan is caught in this kind of unwilling hug of
Yeah.
air.
Yeah.
You know, when you're overstimulated and you're like, nobody touch me. And that dampness just makes you feel like you're constantly being touched and that it's just encroaching in. And so they are not, you know, they're focused on not falling on their face. And I think they fail at that to some extent.
Sorry,
And then
hot woman. I had to acknowledge
I
the
know.
hot woman in the background.
Ah, yes, that hot woman in the back is my partner. I'm at her house. Say hi to my very beautiful partner.
Hello.
Hi, beautiful partner.
Have a good show. Anyway, okay.
Right legs.
Continue
Like-
the very, very heavy talk. I'm
We're
so
very
sorry.
serious. We're very serious in this household.
we
Very,
need some
very
levity
serious.
sometimes.
Oh, we're so serious.
But yeah, no, I think like they do stumble quite a bit. So, you know, their ability to be stealthy or be aware of the survival around them is not possible. They can't perceive things because they're so fixated on the fact that they can't see more than 2 inches ahead of them right now. And they don't really know if they want to see more than 2 inches ahead of them.
Yeah.
They're struggling.
I think that with that roll, with the nat one for you, like you physically stumble, so you have a moment where I would imagine like the serpent is there and like has you, and you don't fall, so like you know you don't hit the ground, so you're being held, but there's a moment of panic with that, and for a moment there's a moment of extra panic where you can't see the guide, like you're looking and you can't see them, and oh my god, and then the prophet says there and points a glimmer of the torch just a bit ahead.
I fixate my eyes. I get fixated on that tiny shift in the color of the fog. You know, it's not just the same matte gray. There's a slight orangey reddish hue just for a blip. And that's just enough to kind of keep me moving forward and keep me in the right direction. And that with the serpent kind of tapping my hand every once in a while as a reminder of, nope, you're going in the right way. You're going, at the very least, you've got somebody next to you, you know?
Mm-hmm. With that, this will be the second one. Let's do one more group, perception or survival.
I'm gonna give you the help action.
Good, because I just rolled a nat 20.
There
we go.
There we go. So yeah, with the numbers. I'm using all the good rolls for
Not getting lost in the wastes of Limbo.
yeah, because I just got, let's see.
The Saint got a 14, so just below the DC.
I got a 29.
Hell yeah.
I also got a 14.
Okay.
I got a 5.
That 29 though, that was clutch.
I got a 29.
Yeah.
And if you want to say I still have, that's without guidance. If I want to have guidance added on, let me roll
Yeah, you do.
time.
Roll some
guidance.
That's plus a 3, so that's a 32.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So as you have this upswell, it's like you hyper fixate, you hyper focus, and you're like, nah, not again. And you're the one, everyone else is starting to feel that, either like they're starting to feel the fog and the cries and the grabbing, and you're the one that steps forward and says, nope, there he is, we got him. So as I've walked through this fog, you are walking, and suddenly, again, this absolute pea soup of fog, stone steps just appear out of this dense white fog, and you see it, and yeah, it's suddenly you're there, you're at a place, you're at a structure, and this let's do, everybody go ahead and roll a perception check. Pagan disadvantage.
You said perception?
Mm-hmm.
That's a 25 with bless.
Perfect.
I got a 12 with all of the added bits and bobs.
Okay, perfect.
15 plus 4, so 19 in total.
Perfect. Okay. So you see these steps, and out of this fog you see a small, slight frame step up next to the guide. And you all look down, and you see a child. And the child looks up at the guide and looks to all of you, kind of taking in the light of this torch that's going out, and says, "I'm sorry. Can you help me? I'm looking for the castle. I got lost in the fog."
I believe you found that castle, young one. The prophet is going to make their way up some of those stone steps to that small child, kneeling down so that they're at eye level, but still keeping like a solid foot distance between them.
I don't know what you're talking about, Sarah. This is a totally normal child.
This is a totally normal child. Totally normal. Totally normal. That's why, the prophet is, going. It's fine. I believe we're at the castle. Are you all right? Do you need anything?
This isn't the castle.
Why not?
It's not a castle. And if you look around, now that you're up the steps, it is almost like steps up to it is a small, almost like a stage, almost something that's just the ruins of something in this fog. And you see a massive marble pedestal with a statue on it. It's hard to make out what that is. The details are hard to see. God, I can't look at the chat. There's giggling children. I'm not going to giggle. This is not a giggling child.
Why would that child giggle? We're in hell.
Check out Abandon for giggling children. All right, let's go.
Or SS Sophia for other children's shenanigans. Except they're ghosts. Anyway, well, if this is not the castle, where do you think it is?
I don't know. That's why I came to you. He's got the light. He knows. He's from the castle.
I'm gonna look over to the guide and see where he's going, how he's reacting, how they're reacting to this.
Go ahead and roll me insight into the guide, and anybody else who wants to roll, let me know.
I'm doing that as well.
On the guide or on the child, or what do you want to do?
I'm doing it on the guide. I want to see if there's a look of recognition, or if there is some hesitancy, seeing if there's a reaction to the moment this child stepped up to them.
Okay.
12 plus 4 plus 5, so about 21.
21. Okay. Let's see what I'll see what Blackwell got too.
15 plus 6 plus 4. 1 second. 6 plus 4 is 10. 25.
Amazing.
I'm going to be looking at the child, and that's a 17 on insight.
Was it?
But I'm going to ask. Yeah, that was at disadvantage.
Got it.
But I'm going to ask questions related to that insight check once you resolve the stuff with the guide.
Perfect. Okay. For both of you, you see uncertainty on this guide's face. There's no familiarity. It's not like the guide is like, oh yeah, it's Charlie. We know Charlie. There's not that. But it is not. You get the impression that it's not uncommon for souls. It's very much not uncommon for the wandering souls of the first level to want to go to the castle of the noble spirits. That's the good, safe place. That's like white people prison. It's like Martha Stewart prison, guys. This is what the castle of the noble spirits is. So, except the people in that place didn't actually do anything wrong. Continue. So that's what you get with the guide. A level of like wariness for sure.
Clarity as well,
Yeah.
more than just his reaction to the child. Does he look like he thinks he's in the right place? Does the guide look confident that we are at the castle?
Okay. So if you look at the guide, do you ask the guide if
I was just gonna go off a vibe, but sure. Then
you
I'm
don't?
gonna
I mean,
direct
for
ask.
vibe, they're not giving you much. They're not going to
Just
give you much. But if you
to
physically
directly ask, just guide. This child says this isn't the castle and wants to go there. Says you know the way, we know you do. Are we there yet?
No, this is just a good. The pagan fell, so I wanted to find a place that was easily spotted. This is a big open space, so we're almost there. And with what you rolled, you do feel like he's being honest and truthful about that. Like you don't think there's any. In fact, you get the impression that he really wants to get to the castle. So, like, he wouldn't lie about that. There's no reason there's no reason for him to lie about that.
Sure.
Yeah. And Pagan, what would you like to know about the child?
I look at the child. Where were you before you decided to search for the castle, little one? Where did you come from?
I don't know. I've been lost in the fog for so long.
I hold a hand out to the child.
What did you roll again? You rolled really high with that.
17.
17. As you hold a hand out and you get a little bit closer, yeah, there's something off. There is something not. This child. Maybe they don't want to get to the castle.
I hold a hand out and I'm walking up the steps towards this child. And as I approach and get this unsettled feeling, my hand recoils back at the last moment. What are you searching for?
The castle is safe.
Safe from what? What does someone so little have to fear?
They kind of motion out, away. The yelling and the screaming. It's bad. Will you take me?
And look at everyone else. I'm not going to hide how I feel about this child from them. There is something about this child that makes me unsettled. I will turn to you all and ask what you think we should do. I worry they're going to be like the people, the souls before. That they will take our health, our vitality. Thoughts?
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
I know I don't have any kind of arcana in me. Well, I don't have any points in Arcana, but I do know a little bit of magic now since I'm able to summon Vital. Can I vibe check this child on their essence, essentially? Like, is this benevolent? Is this
Okay.
malicious? Is this, all intents and purposes, innocence?
Okay. So, okay, there's a couple ways that I could make an argument for this. So, I would say it could be a religion check. It could be a if you want to do it from a magical standpoint, you could do Arcana, or again just insight. But if you wanted to see like what you just said, I would lean more towards Arcana or religion. Your choice.
Let's go for religion. Saint's not a religious person, but sometimes. Okay, we could work with that. That's an 18.
Perfect. You. It's difficult because it's the different different levels of bad, because this is a damned soul. This is a soul that is in hell. You guys are properly in hell, in limbo. Now, what they were damned for is bullshit. So there are different levels to it. But I think with that roll, you feel you get the feeling of the poor kids running games in the street. You're getting the con. That's what you're getting from your history. The saint who has stayed at the bottom of the steps, who rolled a 17 on insight, without all the other shit, with a plus a 4 for bless. I think perhaps we walk away from this one.
Pagan, serpent, saint. I'll go with you. I see before me a child and a frightened one, but I defer to all of you.
The child is running a game on us. I know these games. I used to do them in my youth. Someone unassuming, someone innocent. We should move on. If they wish to follow us, they may. And whatever happens to them when we reach our destination is on them. They have to keep up, though.
Then it sounds like we're all agreed.
The pagan looks at the child as they, right before turning away. You heard my friend. It is your choice if you wish to follow us as we make our way to the castle. We are not choosing to take you, but that does not stop you from following. I hope you find peace in your rest.
Roll me.
I turn away.
If you would like, roll me a persuasion.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna give you the help action.
I have a -1 to charisma.
You can't help with this one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start instituting my rule of tell me how you help.
I mean, it's really easy how I can help in this case. Like if I
got
stand in my
a 10. This child sneers at you all and says, easy marks will come around. Have fun at the castle. And then jumps off the side of it's not a high platform, hops off the side of the platform and disappears into the fog.
As we all turn and walk away, the prophet it's hard for me to describe these because I can't do them myself, but I've been thinking about what, when someone of a Catholic or Christian faith, pray that, or, protect themselves, might cross themselves. There are some physical motions that might go along with a prayer. Fully, my like mental connection to this is Naruto jutsu symbols, is jutsu hand signs. And so there was a little bit of just yeah. Blackwell gets it. We're in. And so just fucking. There is a momentary. I'm not sure. I think I have to put my microphone down. So hopefully you guys can hear me but I think there is like a piece of that sort of. I forget which one this is, but there is some connected hand symbol, and there is a brief prayer to themselves as they try to bless the child. The prophet, as we continue moving forward, just slowly to themselves, almost eyes closed. May you forgive yourself for the pain you seek to cause others. And may they forgive you in time. Yeah.
Beautiful. As the guide who you can see has had a reaction to this, has kind of had to like shake it off and steel themselves, leads you again past this platform, away from this statue. They wander through. Do you think there's much conversation, or does it feel, is the heaviness keeping everyone quiet?
I feel like for the serpent, now that he knows kind of what, after that encounter, he's kind of keeping an eye out for any more cons, any kind of quick schemes that may be happening, because now his mind is going back to what he used to do as a child, or possibly what they did. They're uncertain, but definitely just keeping an eye out, while also keeping an eye on this the pagan, to see if there's anything they need, if they happen to falter any kind of way, so that they can just be by their side in an instant.
The pagan is fixated on staring straight ahead at the flame. They're just like, they're zoned in. That's it.
I think within the uncomfortable silence of the heaviness, the prophet has some moments of attempts towards rallying speech, attempts towards a moment of lightness. But I think for the most part, their focus is split between the pagan, who is clearly going through it as this is their level of damnation, but also to the saint, paying attention to the saint's silence. Who knows why? The saint's quiet, and recognizing that earlier levels were already a trauma. And so to be walking under the gates, the wrought iron gates that read, abandon all hope, ye who enter here, was one thing. But yeah, and so, in essence, walking under the gates might be one thing, but being in hell is another. Mm-hmm. And so, still at the back of the pack, there might be occasional moments. Pagan, you all right?
The only way out is through.
You're right.
I must keep that faith and that focus.
May we all have the same strength of faith. Serpent, you okay?
Can I make a deception roll?
Yeah. Countered with an insight, absolutely, 100%.
Love it. And a half. Do we still all get bless as well?
You got blessed for as long as you're next to the banner.
Well, that's not great. Luck had to run out. How'd you do, Blackwell?
Got a 10 plus 2 plus 2. It's a 14.
I got a 3, and I have a +5, so that's gonna be an 11.
All right. So, what do you convince your companion?
I think as you ask that question, the serpent just turns their head towards you and they nod and they say, all is well. Let's keep moving.
All right. And as the prophet makes these occasional reach outs, each time is met with the same open palm that the serpent has been reaching out to us with each time. And it's, at the hip. It's not walking up to each person. It is still from the back. It's still a call forward. But each time it is that reach out, that same expression of openness. Saint, I don't want to presume, but are you stable? Are you close to okay? Is it within a workable distance?
Go ahead and roll me insight.
Okay, maybe. Okay, better. 19, 12 plus 2 plus 5.
All right. You will have noticed that since stepping off of the ferry, there's been their spine is straighter. They've almost taken on that almost military bearing. The chin is up. There's still it's a very thin shell over the panic that you had seen previously. I'm fine. It's like Pagan says. Only way out is through.
Your fortitude is incredibly admirable. I will say the saint is the only person the prophet walks up to and attempts to walk next to during this check-in. Your fortitude is something that should be admired. This is a lot. Joan of Arc could learn a thing or two from you, and then they fade back slightly into their position.
I will say, where has your tiny imp baby been for this entire...
I would like Oracle to have been on my shoulders, very, and just hanging out at shoulders, or possibly climbing up onto the horns of the
teething on your...
Yeah, very much
Yeah.
so. I would like, however, I think, again, in the way of this is Oracle's coming out party. This is Oracle's birth. This is a baby. I think, I know. It's okay, Lex. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Everything's fine. I think Oracle has been learning to fly with uneven wings. I think maybe the right wing is slightly longer than the left. It's the left is slightly higher up on the shoulder than the right, and just a little malformed imp child. And I think from shoulder to horn to center of mask, Oracle has been having moments of figuring out flying, skittering across, and every couple of minute in between check-ins with the other party members, And you, little oracle. How are you, my sweet child?
I almost have it figured out. I could hover for a whole minute.
That's impressive. You're growing so quickly, my little one.
I will also say with your insight, you will have noticed you can't see the saint's eyes as they are always covered, but you can feel the gaze is
Locked.
tracking the oracle, is tracking that with maybe a level of disquiet. Hard to tell. You're used to. You saw the pagan being viscerally freaked out.
Yeah, I'm
by
used
this
to people
strange
being
biological
grossed the
thing.
fuck out by this thing that does not make sense.
Yeah.
That physically is all sinew and bone
Mhm.
and skin stretched over what should be. It is almost a malnourished little thing.
It does
with-
not look anatomically like it should exist, like
doesn't.
evolutionarily. It
It
looks.
doesn't.
That's why the pagan is so uncomfortable with it. Like
Mad.
it's like this does not look like it should function, and I
Yeah.
And
hate
yet
it.
it does.
If
And
the
yet it does.
pagan looked back towards the prophet and oracle would be staring and waving like that weird kid on an airplane, the one in between the seats, like hi.
That is so uncomfortable.
I love my baby. I love it so much.
God, you're such a proud father. Stop.
No. I'm gonna baseball dad this fucking. I'm not even a masculine thing, but I'm gonna baseball dad this fucking this little imp. And
You're a soccer mom to this thing.
I am a soccer mom to this thing. Actually, speaking of, I know I can do a thing.
Oh, no.
I would like, if I may, imps
Big buggy eyes.
can polymorph. I am going to, as we walk, and is still focus. The vast majority of my focus is split 3 ways. Well, actually, my focus is everywhere right now. The prophet is real ADHD on this shit. Looking over to the pagan, looking over to the serpent, looking over to the saint, looking over to the guide, staring in an oracle. But every now and again, oracle, sweetheart, I would like, if you would like to learn how to fly better, let's make you a raven. And I would like Oracle to use its the imp shape change ability to use its action to polymorph into a raven.
And much like the pagan, they anamorph. It's truly
Animorphs
creepy.
time. Bring it back.
Like
that in-between phase between the imp and the raven is really fucked up.
Oh, and it's also. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
I was gonna say the already kind of twitchy nature of the imp gets even more pronounced as the beak comes out. It goes ah, 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 and it takes off up and just disappears into the fog. You can
Come
hear
back now.
You can hear the cawing cry.
Um,
Yeah, I know Riv can do a better noise than I can.
I just like making crow sounds. I once talked to a crow. Anyway, by doing that, added, I mean. And it seemed like it listened. Anyway, maybe I'm insane. And so
No, they remember because crows remember everything. We've talked
crows
about
are
this.
fucking great.
They're very smart
Fucking
creatures.
love corvids just in general. Crows, ravens, sick. Anyway, so
I think at the caw, that is the only time that the pagan actually acknowledges Oracle's existence, and you see under their hood their very already pale face just kind of seems to drain a little bit further, just in absolute disgust, not in fear, but just in dear God, you made it worse.
I would also like to say, Oracle, being a fucked up little creature, when it changes into, imps can shape change into rats, ravens, or spiders. No matter what Oracle shifts into, it's a fucked up animal. It is like, it looks right. It looks evolutionarily correct. It just looks like it's been through some shit. Like missing a couple of feathers here and there, and like maybe like a half broken wing. The spider is like missing a leg. Like these moments of, oh, that poor thing. But also in the prophet's eyes, pure perfection.
As it circles and comes back down, it perches on one of your horns. And yeah, you see it's almost like half molting. So it is like there are patches of pin feathers, and like it's just this really weird look. And it also has a crack in its bill, in its beak, that almost looks like it would be painful, but the way that it looks, it almost gives it the impression of an impish smirk.
I love my fucked up little things so much. Okay.
And it again, it's just these beady eyes, and it turns its head in weird ways to be able to like look at you all from some perspective. I think the pagan is glad they're focused on fire. They're just eyes front.
If there's another little moment of just Oracle perched on a horn, I call their attention. I think Oracle's beak just like sticks into the eye hole of the golden mask and just very sticking itself in there. And so gotta find an excuse. And so sorry, I just did a bit that my girlfriend and I do anyway. In Oracle anyway. And so just moments of conversation as Oracle and the prophet occasionally have those talks of just, you're doing so well, I'm so proud of you. Just whenever they are in raven form and perched on the horn, they just into the eye hole, just even more disturbingly, of just shoving their entire beak into the eye socket of the golden skull mask.
I also love your baby. It is our baby. Thanks, Riv. Thanks for giving me this baby.
You're welcome, and thank you, because I fucking love this baby.
Hey guys, sometimes
I need to make it clear that me, the player, I love this. I think it's amazing. I think this is wonderful. The character
fucking hates him. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I think everyone can feel the radiation of like no coming from the saint. Like hard no, please.
Then there's the serpent that's just kind of going with Oracle, like messing around with it. Like, you know how people are saying, like, people will say, like, don't like
gets it.
Like, don't play with the thing, and he's just like, nah, this thing's cool. Like, he's kind of cooling and calling with it, trying to call it over for it to like land on their shoulder.
Having Oracle like just flit over and just go pay your serpent division visit. Oh, fuck yeah. It does the weird bop, 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 bop. It does weird little fucking crow sounds. Yes. Love my little fucked up gross thing so much.
Like scratches it under its like neck and around like on the side, as Vital also comes up and just hangs out with them.
Just gets all fluffed up because yeah. And so Vital, so like the crow looks at you, looks at Vital, looks at the prophet, is like giving the impression, like the psychic link of, Papa, can I play?
Yes, do.
Grabs Vital, shoots up in the air, and takes Vital for a spin.
I think in that moment, the moment Vital leaves the serpent's body, it returns into like that heavy, like it immediately curls up into what its initial form when it's around the serpent's arm into that stilled state.
Yeah. It's just this awkward squawk. As you just see a bird plummet.
Do you know the airspeed velocity of an unladen crow?
It's a laden one with a gold
It's a
dagger.
Very
laden
laden
crow.
one.
It's a very laden crow. Is it an African or a European crow? Anyway.
I'm a hell crow.
Yes. Good, my child. All right. I fucking
Opening.
love this
Back to
stupid
the
thing.
flame.
Back to the flame. As you guys are all walking, hey, we had to get some levity. We had to.
Oh,
We gotta have-
absolutely.
This is, my God, this is so
Much
heavy.
needed. Much needed.
my
Fucking
God.
I
Christ.
pick up the golden
Thank you,
ass because
Oracle.
I'm just like, as soon as the crow drops, I pick it up and I'm just like, I think the serpent's like, yeah, he doesn't like leaving the earth.
We'll find you something else.
As you guys are all walking and enjoying this, being the saint just being like, this is something's not right about this. This is strange. You start to notice Pagan, you first, as you are pretty much right behind the guide. You do notice a sphere of light that is piercing through the dense fog that has been getting darker, almost like it's almost like a night shift, but there's no day or night in hell. It's this kind of whimsical, it just decides to get dark sometimes. It's like for the vibes. So as it's starting to get darker, you see a globe of light, and that one globe starts separating into 2, 4, 5. And as you all walk up, you all see again appearing out of this fog a vast, tall marble castle. You can see it now. It is on the verge of ruin. Like something like something, some power greater than any you could understand is keeping it from falling down. It's not full ruins yet, but you could see where it's crumbling and all of that. And as you step up, the guide nods and you see 5 other people that look to have the same level of definition and appearance as the guide, all holding torches, full torches, wood not fully, almost burned away. And yeah, and they are all there waiting for you. And a woman steps forward, nods at the guide. We weren't sure you'd return. And who have we brought now? And looks out at all of you. And the guide motions towards you all and says, these are the souls that are journeying through, like Dante before them. Let him through.
So, real quick, canonically, the prophet has knowledge of Dante's Inferno, has read Dante's Inferno, or studied the Divine Comedy.
Yep.
That was just actual fucking, like, eyewitness account. Oh, no. That was real? That was not a fictionalized story. Like, it's been real, but this is now a moment of, guide, your name wouldn't happen to be Virgil, would it?
Like he laughs, and the other 5 people also burst out laughing. No, 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 no. He retired.
He
I'm-
retired.
Hold. That makes it worse. He retired. Oh, so this
He's
is
in the castle somewhere. He doesn't. He likes
this is
to.
a job title. This is a
Yeah.
given thing.
Yes.
Did you choose this? I apologize for prying, and this is just fascinating to recognize this is something you can retire from, that this is something you can stop doing.
It's kind of stupid to leave the castle. So, yeah, I chose it. And one of the other spirits, this very portly man draped in robes, kind of scoffs and says, "Yes, I don't know why he would bother. Lost souls very rarely make it through. Really, it's just been that one. But he's an optimist, this one."
When you say made it through, do you mean how Dante made it through? He witnessed all 3 chapters of the divine parable. We were only tasked with 1.
The woman who spoke first, we only have knowledge of a portion of that poet's journey. Although, of course, it has reached our ears. We are given some comforts here in the noble castle.
Interesting.
But, well, and at one point he was destined to come here. But, you know, he had that journey, the rest of it. Now,
Looking
go ahead. No, Pagan, go.
looking at these people, at these, they're not quite spirits I'm gathering. Do they look similar to how the guides started to look when we entered this realm? Like, do they look like this is where they are intended to be?
Go ahead and roll me. I will not make you roll this with disadvantage. Go ahead and roll me let's see. Insight or it's insight or religion, unfortunately. So
Religion's better. Oh no, they're
Awesome.
even. They're the same. Let's just see what we get. Either way, I got a 5.
Great.
And with bless, it's a 7. If I added guidance, it'd be a 9. So 7 to 9.
Awesome. Okay.
I would say let's go with religion just for shits and giggles on that one.
Sure. With a 9 with religion, you are, you get the impression. This one's a fairly easy. This is what you're getting with that check, is that you in fact do think that they're spirits. You think that this circle of hell is for those unbaptized, and those if you're unbaptized, you come here and you haven't done anything else wrong. So you get the impression that these are all people who suffer the same fate as you for one reason or another.
Cool. Definitely reassuring. Love that. The pagan steps forward from behind the guide. Why have you all tried to get through and never made it past? You say that Dante was the only one you know of. Have any of you tried? Is that why you're stuck here? You tried and failed?
One of the other, it's a man or male figure, slight, a little scrawny, but again, draped in robes, holding the torch, looks at you. We weren't given the opportunity. Once you're dead, you have no hope. We can't leave. This is where we are. Dante was alive, like you all.
Then I am sorry to see that you, like so many others, are stuck on a level intended for people who had no other choice. You have been damned for the sin of non-belief. I hope you can give us refuge. We've already seen one of the smaller perils of this level, thinking back to the child. And I believe our guide friend here said something about needing fuel for the fire.
You get the impression, all of you get the impression, that the woman who first spoke is the de facto leader of this little group. And she steps forward, and I think you all also notice that the guide steps aside and separates from you all. Not in a like leaving you kind of way, but in a way of like this, they can't speak on your behalf at this point. The woman looks at you all and says, I pity your position. I am very sorry that you have been brought here, but I don't see a way where we can allow you through, where we can allow you entrance with no insult intended. You aren't... You are no Dante. You are not renowned. You are not sages. You are not of note.
Was Dante someone of note before he came?
Yes.
Well, shit. Okay.
Yes.
Very
He
much
was-
so, in fact.
He was an epic poet, and told stories. And
The pagan looks over at the prophet. I had no idea. I did not read this book.
He was
I
very
did
well
not know.
known. He
I,
even for
as
the
far as I
time-
remember, I lived in the woods. I did not read many books. I
well,
look at back at them again. Just because we are not known now, who's to say we won't be known in the future? What is this place, and why is it so important that we get your permission to come through?
why is it that only the most renowned get a chance at redemption?
another man looks at the prophet. And here you can kind of see some attitude. You would ask that question.
I would.
I think you know the answer.
Do I recognize this person?
Go ahead and roll me a
history
roll
insight?
me history. Yep.
Fuck. That's the worst one.
Thanks for saying it first.
25, fucker. That's a nat 20.
Love it. You look.
Well, 22 plus 3 with the bless. Thank you.
Yes. River.
Hi. River. Oh, God.
River. This is a River question. River. So, guys, this is how character development works in Inferno. River, tell me a story about a time in the prophet's life when they had to deal with what shall we say, campaign contributors.
Campaign?
So, you know, you gotta have people bankrolling your cult. How do you glad hand? Tell me a story about a time that the prophet did some shilling.
At a time when the prophet is young. And I don't mean young as in like 18. I mean young as in like 30. The prophet has lived some of life, but not a significant portion. Actually, no, for fun, the prophet is 33. Because, fuck you. We're making them Jesus. No, they're not Jesus. But they're like Jesus. Or at least they think they're. When the prophet was a decade prior to the prophet's current situation, so far younger than they are now, despite their youth. They promised a lot. They were the prophet's organization was bankrolled, unlike many cults, not by close friends or family, but by true honest to God strangers. Not just the donations of a few, but the actual bankrolling and support of people who legitimately at one point believed this person was a mouthpiece to some deification. I think the prophet spent their younger years promising a lot. Promising hope and comfort. All for the price of prayer and belief. I think they were kind. I think the prophet was gentle but firm. I don't think the prophet tried to frighten people to pay for their exploits, at least not the people that paid the most. I think there they leaned into, some would call it deception if only the prophet didn't believe their own bullshit. I think when the prophet was about 23 years of age, there was a real moment in connection to an earlier mentor. Some father figure without being a father. Some maternal figure without being a mother. Some parental force without being directly related to them. And there was a moment where that mentor wavered in their belief, tried to bring the prophet in, tried to rein in their antics. And I think the prophet was offended by this so much that they dedicated months to slowly turning that person from a mentor, from a parental figure, to a disciple. I think the prophet studied this person, spent, say, 6 months learning their habits, learning where they went grocery shopping, figuring out their sleep routine, figuring out what their day-to-day looked like every day, and slowly began to poison them with promises of grandeur, of something more than a day job, than a teacher's salary. They could be more than a teacher. They could be a saint. They could be a cardinal. They could be a pope for all I know. But they need to step out. I think that was how they glad-handed their way. Ooh, voice crack. I think that was how they glad-handed their way into their first major monetary supporter, to the first person to truly set themselves up on the bankroll. Yeah.
You have this flash of knowing, and it is, you know, it's real because of how vibrant the colors are in the memory. And then you look at this person, this smirking, holier than thou, better than you being. And you don't get the impression that this is somebody that you have a connection with personally. But you know these kinds of people. This wasn't a bad person. They couldn't be a bad person if they ended up here. But this is somebody who is a bit of a follower. The leader of the group looks at you all again and says, I'm very sorry. Again, we hold a sacred, literally a sacred relic that we have, that for right now we haven't, it has been infinite, but I don't know that would be true forever. We have to be careful who we allow in our safe haven. And they step back, and I will, like everybody who would like to try, and tell me how you do it, but roll a persuasion check.
Am I still at a disadvantage?
I will say here, amongst others like you, I will leave you at, I would give you advantage, so leave you at, you evened out.
And you said it was insight?
It is
Or no,
persuasion.
Persuasion. Okay.
Yep.
The pagan, I got a 15. The pagan looks at this person who's talking, no idea who they are. So what makes you think that we are not safe? Are you now our judge, jury, and executioner?
What'd you roll
We have
for
yet to
persuasion?
prove ourselves.
Yeah. They kind of tilt their head at you. You haven't. You're right. Does anybody else want to try? Sorry, and Lex, what did you roll for that persuasion? I am sorry.
15, you're good.
15. Yeah.
So an
Did you add?
18.
Did you add bless? I'm so sorry. Did you add bless?
I
Okay.
did. I have a -1 and I got a 1, so just evened out.
Got it. Cool. Yes, Rip.
I got a 27. 18 plus 5 plus 4 with bless. Please pardon my candor. To revoke us of the wellspring of hope is to damn us yourselves. Like the pagan said, we have yet to even prove ourselves to you or even attempt to do so. We deserve a chance. We seek redemption. That is the only way we know out. The only way out is through. The only thing we need is a modicum of your help. If you are still unwilling to share with us, that is fine, but know that we will try anyway. And that if we fail, fine. Our blood, like the blood of many others, shall be on your hands. But if we succeed, then maybe, just maybe, we sit in the same ranks as Dante Alighieri himself.
The woman looks at her companions, looks at the guide, and then looks at the pagan again. Your friend makes a good point, as do you. You haven't proven yourself. So, she looks at the rest of you, holds out her torch. You have to make it through a labyrinth. You may have my torch and a single attempt to make it through. If you fail, you fail, but it will be on your own merits.
The pagan laughs a little. Is that a minotaur that's going to chase us?
No, that's a different level. It's fine. There is a minotaur at some point, but it's
Not yet. Okay. Good to know.
Not in this labyrinth. No, this is just you don't have to take this torch. It is very helpful though. Who would like it? So a torch of divine hope, like the guide has had, is being handed out to one of you. It needs to be attuned, and but one of you can take it. So who has a free hand? Who would like it?
Now I'll take it.
I'm gonna grab my computer cord real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay, we're gonna go take a break after this. So it gets handed over to the serpent. You now have a torch of divine hope.
I think as they hand it to us, as soon as they are within arm's reach, the serpent clasps his hand around their hand and say, "We are here to help. We are not here to harm you. Have some faith in this moment of time. And share in the kindness that we are trying to cultivate here right now," as he takes the staff.
I wish you all luck. And if you make it through, we will see you in the castle. And she does add one final thing, but there's a warning. this labyrinth is alive and it likes to change, but its movements do not lead to perdition, but rather the straightforward way. So don't worry. And with that blessing, you now all have resistance to necrotic damage until your next long rest.
I already have
Fascinating.
that. That's not helpful.
Yeah. Wait, why do you?
I will-
Wait, you have resistance to necrotic damage?
And radiant damage.
Are
Ask Mikey. I don't
you
know.
ASMR? What the fuck?
Thanks, Mikey.
I don't know. Impregnable is in my character sheet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
that
we got some-
part.
Hey
You
guys,
fucker.
Kanto 1, shout out to Kanto 1. They all got to pick some blessings that our Kanto 2 people have gotten to enjoy.
So ask Mikey about it, because I didn't choose that. I mean, I
Hey.
probably still would have, but it's awesome.
Rad.
Like either way.
Everyone get in the Discord and ask Mikey what the fuck.
Hey, Mikey. What the fuck? Hey, Jules, who built this character
Hey,
for me?
Hey Mags.
Huh?
Hey Mags, on behalf of Taya, what the fuck? Anyway, so you guys all have this, and now we will finally take our break. It's been a little bit long, so we will take a 10-minute break. We will see you back here in 10 minutes. Enjoy that cool thing once again, and we can't wait. I can't wait to make my party go through a labyrinth. Great times, puzzle time,
Fuck.
huzzah!
Let's go spelunking.
Hell yeah. What's up, everybody? I got distracted by the music. I've been lulled into a false sense of security. It's dangerous in here. So hi, welcome back. Are you ready to go through a totally chill, nothing wrong at all labyrinth?
Nothing bad's gonna happen, right?
Nothing bad could ever happen.
Before we go through that, how does this staff work?
Oh fuck, we got a visual too. God damn.
Hey, listen, it's not going to be as
fuck.
good as I wish we were in person because this thing moves, and we'll talk about that in a second. So let me tell you how this works. Hold on one second here. It's a great question.
Willow is also very surprised by the visual effects.
Verbally very surprised.
I feel
Yeah, right,
you.
Willow?
I feel you, Willow.
Do you want to come over?
I wish they made this easier to work through.
I must say I appreciate every cat owner's instinct to call their cat over by meowing at them. Just the full get over here.
Okay, so the way that this works, let me actually go back up here. So basically, whenever you guys, should something happen and you guys die in combat, you'll respawn right here where the torch is. So that's a big thing. It also means that not everybody has disadvantage. That's the big one because it's been keeping you guys not at disadvantage. It is. Is this the? Oh my god! I love this guidebook, by the way. Seriously, Acheron Games, you made something beautiful, but there's so much to read. Let's see here. The lantern. So it will emit a bright light in a 30-foot radius, dim light for 30 feet beyond that. So yes, you can. So it is really just a lantern, and again, when it keeps your hope there, and if you didn't have it, who knows where you would have ended up if you fell in combat. So I know where they'd end up if they fell in combat. So as you all are motioned towards this foggy, again, there's dense fog everywhere, so it's hard to tell what to do, where to go. You notice that your guide is not following.
Hey, buddy.
Is he there, or is it like, are they there, or have they disappeared?
They're there. They seem to have kind of stepped back amongst the others of the noble spirits that were passing judgment. And he holds up his hands with his almost dying torch of hope. Hey, you guys have to get through this. You've got a torch. You'll be fine. I'll see you on the other side. We'll see you in the castle. We'll have a great talk. Yeah, I'll see you on the other side. This is a thing you guys have to do.
I want to insight check how much he truly believes in us. I want to see this man say, no, they're going to falter.
Same.
Go for
it. Not great. We do get blessed. Okay. 4 plus 4 plus 5, 13. Do you believe in us? Hell, parental figure.
With a 13, yeah. He's about as hopeful as a man in hell can be.
22.
22. Okay, what are you looking for?
I think the sense I'm trying to get from them is, did they want to help us, or is it like they're being beholden to laws or statutes or reasons that they cannot break? Like, is there a sense of, hey, I want to go with them, I want to assist them, but I just can't?
With the 22, no. They absolutely are like, have fun, goodbye. You have gotten, more than anybody, have gotten the hints at some, like, there's some underlying shady shit that this man is not saying. And that continues.
I think with that notion, that feeling, the serpent's just going to raise their hand up to them, and like in a waving fashion, and saying, "We will do all the hard work for you as per usual. We will see you on the other side then."
I already made it through. I live here, so good luck. And you find yourselves at the entrance of this place. There are tiny squares in there. We're not playing that game here. That's tiny and impossible to read. But I would like you all to roll initiative, please.
Am I rolling initiative at disadvantage?
I feel so bad making you roll a disadvantage, and the answer
You
is
can.
yeah. Like, Eli feels bad.
Oh my god,
like
I'm
you
taking
so
a
much.
picture because I just got double nat 20s.
Oh,
Yes.
fuck yeah.
My that was 100%. That was Eli being like, I don't wanna.
We'd love to
I
see
just
it.
gotta make sure you guys know that I'm not lying. Like, it's double nat 20s. It's
That's
great.
incredible.
Do we
Fuck
add
yeah.
the bless on top of our rolls as well?
I mean, you can. It's
Does
initiative.
bless go on to initiative? Sure.
It's saving throws. Yeah, it's saving and whatever the other one's called.
All right.
Also, get in the Discord. I'm putting in the chat. Get in the Discord
Get in the
to see if this is real.
Get in the Discord. That is. Ooh, sorry. I got
go ahead.
a 9. 3 plus 4 plus 2.
Awesome. Saint got 11. What is your total, Pagan?
23.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god. You have the hell yeah, hell no dice?
Oh,
That's
no.
great.
They're not that. These are Dimension 20 dice. So it just says it's Brennan Lee Mulligan going, hell yeah.
That's fucking great.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I do know there are fuck yeah and fuck no dice, where the 1 is fuck no and the 20 is
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
No, these ones, it's just the 20 that's different. So
Great.
which for me is better because then I don't read it and get excited and then go, fuck, it's a 1.
True enough.
Let's see, 14 plus 5 is 19, 21. 14 plus 5 is 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
All right. Serpent and Pagan rollies, just D20.
I mean, he's got the higher initiative bonus, so he could just take that.
We can
Okay,
also say
I also-
dex.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
yeah.
dex. Like, I've got a +0 to dex, so.
Okay, so Serpent can go first and then Pagan. Awesome. Okay. I'm not... Sorry, I just happened to look at the chat. I looked at our Twitch and it's looking really blurry and I don't know if it's me. That's my Twitch. Got it. Cool. Awesome. I love that. So if you're on Twitch and the quality of the video is really bad, I'm so sorry.
No, it looks
It might
good
just
from
be-
my phone.
I remember
Cool.
it was clear.
Thanks. It's just my internet, and I'm fine with that because I got a good vision right here. Okay, so again, you only have for vision as far as what you can see with the torch. you have 30 feet of clear and then 30 feet of dim. So as you enter in, what is your marching order?
I feel like the serpent, because they have the torches in the middle.
Prophet is very much sorry if chewing is making accidental ASMR, by the way. Prophet is probably towards the back once again. Camp counseling.
Okay. Yeah, I think the saint is probably in front of the prophet.
Yeah, and I think the pagan being right behind the serpent makes sense.
So really, the serpent's in the front.
Yeah, serpent, pagan. It kind of makes
Pagan.
sense for that initiative too.
It's almost like we did that on purpose.
I did.
That actually is wild because that is truly how the initiative worked. So as you go, serpent, go ahead and you make your way forward. Your speed, that gets you probably about halfway down. It's a as you look around, it's a vast, like it's huge, and these hallways are huge, and also and it's completely foggy. Like it's that dense fog that you've been depressively in for this whole time that you guys have been here. So you make your way in. What would you like to do?
I think my first instinct is try to see, like, is there a sense of direction? Like, Brain's just like, what is our goal right now? Is it to make it to the other side, make it to the center, or
Typically with a labyrinth, you're making your way to the center.
I think he would, with his full movement, move forward up until, like, he's moving forward until he knows that the whoever's in the back is like on the edge of the light, so that they're not outside of the light, as he kind of waits for his party members to come with him.
Okay. So you make it halfway through. You can also, since you're not getting the impression of any danger or anything like that. Yeah, you have to just make it through. So if you would like to roll investigation, to look around and see what information you can gather, go for it.
Okay, we can work with that. 14 plus 4, because I have nothing in my investigation, but that's 18 in total.
18 in total. Okay. So as you make it down the hallway and you're peering through the dim light, you can start to see that you do have two options. You see the shadows of the edge of walls where, like, the shadows get darker. That makes it look like, okay, the first thing we can decide, we have decisions to make about which direction we need to go. So you can start, it gets deeper and darker straight forward, which, okay, going straight forward is an option, okay, but you can't tell, and then you can go left or you can go right. So it's kind of unhelpful. You have 3 decisions to make. Is there anything else you want to do before? So searching, that's your action. If you have a bonus action you would like to try, go for it. Otherwise, that's movement.
I think he would, as a bonus action, just kind of point towards the left, like saying, like motioning towards that way to say, like, we should go this way.
Okay. You're saying, you're telling everybody you think left. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then next up, Pagan. You follow along, catch up. Is there anything you would like to do? Or would you, before you move, is there anything you want to do before your movement?
Okay. Um. Would you allow? So, is there anything on these walls? Anything like a vine or anything like that, or is it just a wall?
It is deep fog.
Okay. But can I put my hand through it?
If you want to reach out and try, go for it.
I would like to reach my hand through, reaching for a wall to see if there's anything in front of us.
So are you reaching forward? Are you going forward to reach out or going to the side?
I'm going to go forward first.
Okay. As you hold your hand out and you keep walking forward, you don't hit a wall at all. In fact, as you continue to move forward, it's the fog, it clears enough as it has been you've been experiencing on this journey through Limbo. You've got that 30 feet of light, 30 feet of dim. So
Okay.
yeah.
Basically what I want to do, what I want to do is I want to cast the light cantrip at every turn we make. And the wording of it is you touch one object that is no larger than 10 feet in any dimension. And I'm hoping that I can kind of touch one stone on the wall, and that counts as the one object.
Smart.
Basically create a breadcrumb trail of where we've been. I know that this place changes, but to have an idea of like landmarks.
Okay. I will allow you to hold that as an action.
I can only
when you come up, yeah, that's the thing. It's like,
yeah, it's one. It's not like I can leave a bunch of them.
Yeah, you haven't. Yeah, going forward, you have not, because your movement is 30.
Movement is
40.
Where the fuck is movement on? 30.
30. Yeah, with 30 feet of movement, it's a massive hallway.
I'm gonna hold that action until we get to a place where we're like, strongly debating which direction to go, and if we think we need a like checkpoint, basically. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. But other than that, I'm gonna follow the serpent. So I know that going straight, we could go straight, but the serpent went left.
Wants to go left. It hasn't happened
Wants
yet.
to go left.
He's seeing. Yeah, because he also hasn't made it. This hallway is insanely long.
Yeah.
So he's kind of pointed and motioned forward for left, but you guys haven't reached that yet. So above table, I'm totally down with this. I will have you roll investigation to find something, to see what you can find. If you can find that smaller piece to cast it. But yeah, I'm down with that plan.
Okay.
So we're good with that.
That's what I'm going to plan on doing when we get to that point. But yeah, so I now know that the fog ahead of us, we could walk through it. And I relay that message to the group.
Perfect.
While we can go straight, I don't have any strong reasons for it. It feels like going straight is the wrong answer. I don't. Sorry.
Bless you.
I don't have a strong reason for why, other than nothing about this place has been straightforward, so why would walking straight be the answer? Yes, being straight is wrong.
Correct. You're right, Gabby.
Pride Month. Happy Pride Month.
This on the eve of Eve.
The eve of the eve of Pride Month?
The double eve, if you would.
Yes, it's almost time.
It's time!
No, she's still trapped in her iceberg waiting to thaw out. Let her be.
Hey, Eli Lord, fucking hate that song. No, we don't bring up that man's name in this chat. Fuck that guy.
The Lilith, if you will. The Eve before the Eve.
Correct. That's the right one. Anyway, okay, so the saint steps forward, looking around, catches up with you all, glancing. Well, I think left is as good as any once we get there. And is just walking until a decision can be made. So, Prophet, anything you want to do that isn't walking and heading in a direction?
I'm going to catch up to the others. Saint, can I ask a favor of you?
You can ask.
Would you hold me for a moment? And they reach out an arm as if to loop theirs and each other's.
There's an absolute hesitation. And they're going to roll insight. They don't trust you and your weird, freaky imp boy.
True enough.
The fuck?
The fuck?
Well, listen, it's not great insight. It is... Oh, wait, Hold on.
You've got bless.
I got bless.
You want guidance? I'll give it to you.
Yeah, let's go. Is that 4? D4?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, so that is 12.
Sick. The prophet is not trying to play a joke. The prophet is not trying to be coy or strange. They have an idea. They're just not saying what.
The saint. Again, I think everyone now, you can see this more military bearing kind of steps closer, shoulder to shoulder, like soldiers, and holds you up.
Perfect. I'm going to use my action with the Find Familiar spell. I am going to... Oracle is still a crow. I am going to use my action to blind and deafen myself and see and hear through Oracle entirely.
Perfect.
And so there's a moment where the saint very militaristically begins to prop the prophet up, and they do just say, "Perfect," and then their body slumps for a moment, almost as if a faint, and then their legs steady underneath them, and Oracle's fucked up little eyes, the beady glass-like orbs of that crow, suddenly flash and glow red as it then takes off. It has a 60-foot range.
Hell yeah.
I can also see and hear through it. How high up are the ceilings? Are there any ceilings?
It is darkness, but you get if you send Oracle straight up or up, you get the impression of like cathedral.
Gotcha.
So, high ceilings.
If by darkness you mean magical or regular darkness, imps have devil sight, so sick. And
it's not magical. It's just a dark place with tons of fog. It's
dark as
just
shit. Great.
Yeah.
So
especially outside of the range of the torch.
Great. Okay. So then I'm going to send Oracle, who has been resting again on the horn, on the antler of the golden mask. I'm going to send Oracle at a 45 and just up and out for the 60. And I don't know what the actual Yeah, I can't do the math of the
Sure.
hypotenuse of how far they would
Yeah.
actually go. But I'm going to use their full movement to go up forward ahead of us to the upcoming crossroad and try to go up high so that I can get a good vantage point and view of what walls look like, of what paths look like, of what the labyrinth looks like from a bird's eye. No pun intended.
Great. Roll me investigation with
Fuck yeah, with
imp stats or bird stats, crow stats, whatever.
imp shape changer stats do not
Perfect.
shift at all.
Perfect.
However,
Imp stats.
they do have +0 to intelligence. So that's great.
I'm a smart boy.
I'm very, very smart.
My dad says I'm smart.
While you're familiar with hold on. Let me just jump. You can see through your familiar's eyes and hear what it hears until the start of his neck. Okay, what it sees and hears. Okay, great, cool. So this is just raw. And I'm moving outside of 30 feet, so Oracle doesn't get blessed.
Yeah, correct. No bless.
Funny as that would be. Fuck! All right, that's a 4. That's a hot 4. Just raw 4.
The walls go up forever. So you can't see over it. But he does see much more clearly that there is a small pathway to the left, a larger pathway to the right, and then if you go even a little bit further, there is another left and right that could take you further in.
And relaying this to the group because the prophet does not just die out. Still very much leaning heavily on the saint. I don't believe the first left or right will be our way. I think if we continue forward as far as we can go and then fuck it, let's say left again. No, right, let's be interesting. If we continue straight as far as we can go and then turn right, it looks like it goes a little bit deeper in than the options laid ahead of us.
All right. Next round. So we assume that, I mean, obviously it's 6 seconds. So like everyone kind of travels together. You don't have to worry about keeping everyone to catch up. So, Serpent, you are first. So do you take that into consideration?
I think he does. And I think he's going to step through, like go forward, like going north into the fog.
Mm-hmm. So you make it past, and you get to a point where the fog stops dispersing, and you hit a wall. And now you have the choice to go left or right.
I think in this case he's going to go right. I think he's going to gesture to everyone as they're all coming through the fog. I think words. I imagine that, as you said, like we're all moving together. He's going to gesture to the right, as the prophet had mentioned.
Okay. All right. For the pagan, as you come forward, you look to your left and right. Go ahead and roll me. You see the serpent motioning to go right. Go ahead and roll me investigation to see if you can find something to leave that bread trail.
Not gonna help, but no. 5.
Okay. You are seeing things, but they're pillars that are fairly large. What was the like they're solid pieces of masonry. So what was the size of that for
no
light.
larger than 10 feet in any dimension.
These
Probably
are
taller
really,
than 10 feet.
yeah. Go ahead and roll me a. Do your What's your spell casting?
Spellcasting modifier is, I have it right here, I just have to find my mouse. +5.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a d20 plus 5. As you just give it a shot.
22.
Perfect. Yeah. So you're looking at all these things up above, and then you look down and you crouch down, and you get a loose piece of stonework. And everybody, you look down when as a beacon of light diffused by fog glows from the ground at the corner of where you are all turning right. The saint also follows, prepared, holding their banner high to keep everyone blessed. And then Prophet, do you follow?
Following through. And as we all begin to turn towards the right, still very much clutching the arm of the saint. And at this point, eyes slowly turning milkier and milkier with each passing second, just graying out, as if you could see past the massive golden skull. I keep forgetting that. As we all turn the corner towards the right, Oracle is going to continue ahead. Is going to stay at the same elevation and go 60 feet forward, trying to keep the light of hope in sight and trying to keep further path in sight, because I want to look for stuff.
As the Prophet catches up, you all hear a deafening, grinding noise as the wall, again, to your right hand, starts moving, and the outer circle of the map you are all looking at rotates 90 degrees.
That's intimidating. Clockwise or counterclockwise?
Clockwise.
Okay.
So if I'm looking at the bottom of this, it just goes. Okay.
So I would also like for who are we gonna pick on? I would like one of you. Who do you choose as tribute to roll me a d10, please?
I can do it.
I was gonna say I'm blind. I could do it. It'd be funny.
I got it. Let me see. Oh, it's a 10.
Hey,
We don't know if that's good.
I don't know.
judging
This
by
may be
Eli's face, it's not.
Yeah.
This may be the time for me not to use the dice that like to bless me.
It's a 10.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah.
Roll again. It's a 10, and what I have on this thing doesn't make sense for the labyrinth. And because if I chose the one right below it, it's bad, and I'm not doing that to you guys. So
Mercy.
How bad?
Yet. I bet you anything.
Don't roll a 9.
That's a
Yet.
yet.
Just
I
don't
mean,
roll a 9.
unless Blackwell rolls 8 or 9,
Don't roll an 8 or a 9
I
right
got
now.
a 5.
you got a 5.
Different.
Awesome. Lex, go ahead and roll me 2d4.
As your cats.
Sorry, my cats are having Mufasa moments. Can you guys stop?
Brother.
Sorry, 2d4?
Are we talking
2d4.
Mufasa Scar moments, or are we talking
Yeah.
Mufasa Pride Rock moments?
Mufasa Scar
Scar.
moments.
Brother, help me.
Also work on my curtsy.
Long live the king.
4 and a 1. 4 and a 1.
Cool. You all hear a with the grinding, you also hear the sounds of abject wailing and anger as 5 damned souls come up to attack you. So we gonna fight, y'all.
Uh-oh.
Ruh-roh. That will be we're gonna start at the top of initiative, and let me make sure I know what I'm doing here. Hell yeah. Okay. So I need to roll initiative for these guys. But there's 5 of them that are coming up behind you, so they're right behind the saint and the prophet.
Sorry, Taya. I'm just out here. Oh, thank you, Naruto. Also, oh wait, that was you, Lex. I'm recognizing this is yet another moment of the prophet unintentionally fucking over the saint because, hey, you're in the back with me now. Oh no, sorry, Taya.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Raggy. Okay, so
noob.
We can't. We have
Get
20 minutes. Serpent, go ahead, and you hear, because as you're at the leader of this, you hear the noise of these of these souls coming up behind you all. What do you do?
This is where things get funky. Because if I'm holding the staff, I can't use my dagger at the same time, can I?
Is your dagger's one-handed?
Just flop hands.
As long as you're doing something one-handed, it should be.
Okay. My brain went into 2-weapon fighting. I can't remember what the thing is. But yeah, I think that's what they're going to do as they see like these lost souls like chambering up to them. The golden axe is going to transform into his dagger once more. And he's going to take a slash at him.
Awesome. Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit.
That's a 14 plus 7, so 21.
Yeah, absolutely hits.
And that's
These guys are not
1d4 plus
difficult.
1d6. We're going to first do the d4. So that's 3 plus 5. That's 8 piercing, and then 4 poison damage. 8 piercing and 4 poison damage.
So 12.
12
This first soul, you slice into them, and they shriek, reaching out towards the torch, just desperate to get it and to get your hope. So that's your action. Anything else? And movement to get back there.
Don't think there's anything. Haven't used this yet. I'm gonna use Shrewd. You can take the disengage or hide action as a bonus action on each of your turns in combat. So I'm gonna use Shrewd to disengage to back up from this person.
Okay, great, awesome. So they don't have that opportunity attack. Pagan, you're next.
Perfect. Lovely. Are all of them kind of clumped together?
Yeah, they were all coming up. So they were a band of souls that wandered in.
I was gonna say you don't have fireball, but then I double realized we are not high enough level to have fireball.
I didn't say we talk. I said I cast fireball.
No, I have a different idea.
How big the room is?
Different idea. Are they close to the prophet and the saint? I hate AoE. I hate AoE spells when it's not like when it's all like theater of the mind.
Theater of the mind. I would say. So what's your AoE? What are we
I'm
worried
looking
about?
at a 15-foot cube for
Okay.
Thunderwave.
I was thinking they were outside of 30, like they were probably at 30, like they had spotted, because that was being within 30
So they're
gave
not
them,
close to. They're not close.
so
Like they're not like right close to them.
they're not right on top of them.
Cool.
Exactly. They just, because they got within the lantern light, they were just able now to see you all, which incited them to come at you.
I would like to run right at them and get about 10 feet away from them and cast Thunderwave, because they're now within a 15-foot cube of myself.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. What's the save? Do they have a save on that?
Let's see. It is a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
DC 13.
Okay. One saves. First one. So the one that's really injured saves. Second one saves. Third one does not save. Fourth one does not save.
Hey.
Oh, fifth one with a nat 1 does not save. So
okay,
the first
those who pass take half damage and are not pushed. Those who did not pass will be taking 12 thunder damage and are pushed 10 feet away. So those who passed will take 2 thunder damage.
Okay. All right. So those first two, the one that was first hit. Oh, Serpent is in the area. Did you get?
No, Serpent used disengage and ran away.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay, I was like, wait a second, there was somebody up in it. Okay,
that's why. Like when they said that they did, when Blackwell said that he did that, I was like, oh, perfect. That's actually ideal. I didn't have to metagame it.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay, so the one that the Serpent had already cut into is hanging on by a thread, so bloody. The second, but holds its ground, like takes it and hunkers down again, just trying to reach towards that hope, that light. The second one tries to shake off that thunder that just, oh my god, it like reverberates through their body, but they stand tall. The other three take 12 points of thunder damage.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I don't know if it matters, but the spell emits a thunderous boom that's audible out to 300 feet.
Somewhere in a castle, everyone's drinking tea going, oh dear, what was that?
My god.
Oh my.
My pearls. Anyway, I have to touch them. The other three are pushed down and knocked prone into the darkness. You can't even see them anymore. And you can hear just the groaning of pain as you did quite a lot of damage, as these are individuals with 22 hit points. So you took a more than half of their hit points away. So, but they are out of the dark. They're in the darkness. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
No.
Okay. The Saint is going to look around. Oh dear. Okay. Looks at their banner. Looks at everyone else. No. And goes up and reaches out a hand and what do I want to do? They don't want to sully their that bless has been huge. So helpful. That's been huge. They're going to step up and well, first they're going to say, because the prophet, you're still blinded, so they're going to say, I have to step away.
As they do, the prophet unlatches and drops is at their knees, but I'll be fine. Go.
They step forward and they cast guidance on the serpent. You have hit harder than the rest of us. Be true. You've got this. And then they're going to do an investigation check to see what they can see. With a 13, they call out, it appears that the walls have shifted. Does anyone know what a clock is? Clockwise, the way that anyway, things have changed. The landscape has drastically changed, but I think if we go forward, we should still be fine. And that is their turn. And then, Prophet, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I was towards the back of the group.
Yes.
How close? Oh, first and foremost, find familiar as an action. You can, while your familiar is within 100 feet of you, you can telepathically communicate. Additionally, as an action, you can see through your familiar's eyes and hear until the start of your next turn. And so, at the start of the turn, my eyes are suddenly clear as a bell, whatever color they might be underneath the mask. I don't even know. And so they had dropped down to their knees in the moment when the saint left, but they can suddenly see again. They shake the fog out of their head for a moment. How close am I to the damsels? I think 10, 15 feet.
15 feet at this point. Yeah. I mean, Lex, would you say 15 feet? How far away were you from them?
I was 10 feet away from them. So you're probably about like
5 or so. 20 feet away?
Yeah,
okay.
I would say 20 feet so if I could avoid hitting you with the thunder wave.
Okay. Shit. Then.
And some of them are farther away because they got shoved another 10.
Right. I'm going to quickly ask the group, do we want to fight or do we want to run? And hope for any sort of heads or tails.
I will leave that up to you guys. What do you say? I'll allow everyone to have the free action to respond.
I think we have no choice but to fight. They're chasing hope, and they will always chase hope. We are the only source of light in this labyrinth.
I think it's a less of words that the serpent is saying and more like you see them, they're already stanced up, dagger turned, dagger. It's not being held in front, but you know how you do a reverse grip?
Yeah.
Yep. While having this, they're stand in the way where the staff is behind them and the dagger's out in front.
Well, fine. They're not going to cast darkness on the most injured one then. The prophet is going to walk forward, sword in hand, bearing down. Forgive me. And they're just going to slash away at the most. They're going to slash at the one that has not taken as much. They're going to slash at the second that's saved.
Got it.
Because as nice as it would be to kill one, I think I can take one down in one. Okay, that's really good. 18.
Yep.
not including the bless. Okay. I'm going to use a couple of things on this. First, I have to take my D4 classic. That's 2. So I am down to 21 hit points. I take the 2 necrotic. That cannot be reduced by the resistance to necrotic and radiant given to us by the thing, as it says in my obsidian weapon splat. Okay. I am going to use Master of the Black Arts, so I'm going to be rolling 3d8, 1d8 for slashing, and then 2 more d8 for the additional damage, plus 3 as my charisma modifier. Okay. So that is 3 slashing, plus 6 necrotic, plus 7. So plus 3. 6 plus 7 plus 7. So 19. And for the fuck of it, because I want to just take it out in one, I'm going to use Righteous Fury. When you damage a creature with an attack or a spell, you can deal extra damage equal to twice your level. So I'm going to add an additional 6 damage. It doesn't say what type of the damage is, so I'm just going to assume probably either more necrotic or slashing. I don't know though.
Pure pettiness. As they go down screaming, they fall and poof away in a. You can tell it's their body and not the fog because of how black it is as they disappear into a cloud.
Very Kingdom Hearts. And the counter's up to 4. Anyway, the blood still dripping down their sword, a mix of their own and the fallen ones. They're then just gonna point it at the one that ran up first, that the serpent damn near murked on his own, and just fucking taunt. So yeah.
And with that taunt, this one soul that is holding on for dear afterlife at this point is going to reach out and attempt to grab you. And it is not a good day for them. That is a 10 to hit. They are dragging and they're trying and they reach out and they fail. The others, you can hear them getting up, pushing up, and you can almost hear the hesitance to chase after you because they are so damaged. So with that being said, Serpent, we are back up to the top of initiative. So what would you like to do with this one that's hanging on with 2 hit points?
Put it out of its misery. We're just gonna swing at it.
Perfect.
13 plus 7, 20.
Yep. Yeah, you're good.
So that's a D4, D6.
I mean, how you want to do this? I don't think there's a way for you to not kill it.
Okay. I think it's very ceremonial. It's very quick, very efficient. Just a quick slash to the neck to have this lost soul just disappear into a cloud of like black smoke.
And they fall with a cry, and you're back in the hallway again. And it's quiet as you hear the running, the shambling of the souls that had been pushed back by that thunder damage. And you find yourself once again in a labyrinth that has changed. In fact, Pagan, as you look back, that light that you left is gone as it has moved around a corner. probably gone, or maybe it's gone forever. You don't know. It moved. So that is where that you don't see it anymore.
Did we feel so? I know above the board we watched this like 2 sets of rings. We saw the outside ring move counterclockwise. In the game, did we feel or see any movement? Like, did we see, like, if we were, in theory, this is just
Yeah.
my brain saying what I think it would be. Like, if we were on the outside ring, in theory, we would feel that movement if that's the part that's moving. And then if we are on the inside ring, if we could see the outside ring, we would see it moving. So did we get any indication that there are these 2 distinct parts to the maze? Like, did we feel anything moving? Do we know that things have moved beyond just the visuals?
Yeah. So for free, I will tell you, you heard grinding and you felt the wall to your, because you were all facing, you had all gone to the right. So you were all facing that direction. You felt that wall to your right hand shift.
Okay.
Now that being said, if anybody wants to, we'll make this the last roll of the night to get information. So if anybody wants to roll investigation to learn more about what this means for the layout, or like how that, what that equates, then yeah, I'm happy to give that to you guys.
Oh, that's very good. 19 plus 2 plus 3, 24.
24. Awesome. Is anybody else wanting to roll any kind of investigation? I'll roll for the, hey.
I'll say that like my observations that we made and like the conclusions I'm coming to are all I need right now.
Yes. Okay. So, Prophet, if this has been put forward by the pagan, like, what happened? You absolutely notice that the right-hand wall moved, the left-hand wall stayed still, which gives you that feeling of like there are segments that move independently from each other. It's not one giant thing. It is, and as with knowledge of puzzles and labyrinths, the other side, the left side, probably moves differently. So, that is the information that you can glean from, and you get the impression, with that's a pretty good roll. You get the impression that every time you transition between sections, some other things might befall you, good and bad. Could be more damn souls.
What? Didn't mean to do that.
River said, "I'm done now. Goodbye."
I tried to unmute and then I accidentally turned off my camera.
You said no more. Eli said no more rolls. So goodbye.
Okay.
Good night.
Nice now. Bye. No. Yeah. The prophet relays this all back to the group. It seems to only really move when we pass certain benchmarks. So hopefully that stays true. And hopefully we don't find anything much worse than those little damned souls.
Anything else anyone wants to say before we call it for the night? In the labyrinth of fog.
I think we just need to remember that as of right now, and maybe it's been this way this whole time and I'm just finally saying it out loud, we are in a den of meat eaters and we are holding a bloody stake when we have that staff. If we want to retain hope which we desperately need to in order to survive any of this, we need to remember that they will come running and they will not stop. And we need to not hesitate. And on that word, I kind of land on the prophet, not in an angry or in an accusatory way, but just one as a response to their question of do we fight or do we run? But then a callback also to our conversation where we talked about where violence stands in this world that we're in, and how the pagan feels that violence is nature, and only the fittest will survive.
The prophet takes a moment with you, and instead of putting their sword back in their scabbard, keeps it out in palm, scepter at side. If you truly believe there is no other way, then there is no other way.
At least for now. We've seen what souls can do. And like this is a bit more pointed at the prophet who took a bit of that max HP damage. We've seen what these souls can do with just a touch. And they show no remorse. We should show no remorse in our own self-preservation.
I think the serpent, hearing all this, will speak up and say, the only way is forward. Through blood, through tribulations, the only way is forward. As they continue marching on.
And the only way forward is through.
Let's get out of here.
Don't forget, Saint pipes up. They said the movements do not lead to perdition, but rather the straightforward way. Forward. And on that note, with my very bad Taya impression, we will call it for the night. Come back next week.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Michael to me.
Listen, I will never be enough. I will never be good, Taya. Like I can't do it. I love you so much. Come back next week, guys, for our first Pride campaign, a discussion with Seraphina Smith, Mags Curry, and myself, with our great friend Bastion, who's an amazing ally, leading the conversation. If you guys have questions for us that you would like us to answer, get in the Discord and tell us. Let me put that in the chat again. I'm old. I'm such a boomer. I don't understand any of this shit. Guys, tell us what you want to hear. Join us next week for our first Pride stream, that we will also be releasing all of the incentives, as well as the Tiltify link to donate to Trans Lifeline. Please support your queer friends, especially support your trans friends. This is a really, really scary time. In not just America, in everywhere. It's bad. So we all got to stick together and take care of ourselves, because it's bad when even hell has better everything. So join us next week. We will be back in 2 weeks with continuing on in this labyrinth with Taya. We miss you, Taya. And I can't wait to see you guys. So see you next Tuesday for our End of Rainbow with Hallie Children Challenger. And hey, we'll see you in hell. Good night, everybody.
See you in hell, motherfuckers.
See you in hell.
Yeah!